I'm Chief Jeff Madry, the Chief of Patrol, and standing with me is Assistant Chief Kevin Williams, the Commanding Officer of Patrol Borough Queens South, Deputy Chief Jerry O'Sullivan, the Head of Queens South Detectives, Inspector Anthony Marino, who's in charge of our Force Investigations Division. So I'm going to give you details of earlier event that involved members of our department using their firearms in a situation. And again, this just really, these details are going to illustrate how gun violence continues to beleaguer our communities. And again, I implore members of our community that it's so important to work together with your police so we can put an end to this gun violence. But earlier this evening, about 11:35 p.m., members of our violent crime squad were in the vicinity here of 219th Street and 130th Avenue, which is in the confines of the 105 precinct, the Springfield Gardens section, a very beautiful residential area. They were observing a party in the area, and they were observing this party because they believed that there was a potential to be violence involving some of the local street crews. So our detectives from the Violent Crime Squad, who were working in an unmarked car in plain clothes, was observing the party, watching everything that was going on. And as they were making their observation, an unknown group of males entered the same intersection at 219th Street and 130th Avenue, right across the street from the detectives. The group they pulled out at least 3 firearms, and they started firing into the vicinity of where the party was at that the detectives were observing. Now understand, there was about 75 to 100 people at this party, and now you have a group of males firing into this group of people who were partying. The detectives saw this, they realized that danger was imminent, and they exited their vehicles and they engaged the group of males. Our detectives exchanged gunfire with the group of males, and our detectives were able to apprehend 3 of the males. 3 of the males all had gunshot wounds. 3 firearms were recovered. Our detectives were not hit. Our detectives were removed to a local hospital to be checked out for tinnitus and other ailments. And the 3 males who had various gunshot injuries were removed to local hospitals as well. One of the males we believe is in critical condition, and the other 2 have non-life-threatening injuries. There were a lot of people out here when this event occurred, and if there's anybody with any information, we ask you to call 1-800-577-TIPS or reach out to the local precinct and speak to the detectives. But as I said, our detectives did engage with 3 males. They did injure 3 males, and there were 3 guns recovered. As you see here, these 3 firearms were recovered here at the scene. So again, I just ask our community if there's any information that they have that can provide us with any additional help so we can understand exactly what happened out here. We implore you to please call and reach out to the department. Thank you.
Have any questions? Any of those guns were ghost guns?
It's still being determined. Crime scene, our Force Investigations Division, our detective squad who is running the investigation, they'll have this information a little bit later. This is still a fresh investigation. Details are still emerging, so this information will become available a little later.
Any criminal history on the gunman?
Yes, 2 of the males are known to the department with past criminal justice encounters.
Chief, the individuals, were they targeting someone or was this just a random shooting for them?
Well, based on what we know, they were firing towards the direction of the party, where we had approximately 75 to 100 people there partying. So they were basically firing into a crowd.
Well, no civilians were hit?
At this time, we don't know, and it's still an ongoing investigation.